I want you to pause for just a second and think about the last time your child came home after a maths test. What was on their face? Not the score. I'm not talking about the score, their face. Was it quite withdrawal where they just had said just fine and went to their room? Or did they say something that quietly broke your heart like, I'm just not good at maths, mom? If you have ever heard that sentence or something like that, then this video is for you. Because in 15 years of teaching, the children who said that to me were almost never the children who couldn't do maths. They were the children who had stopped believing that they could. And most of the parents come to me worried about the marks. And I do understand that, but here's what I have seen happen over and over again. Long before the marks fall, a child gets stuck on one chapter. Maybe it's fraction, maybe it's algebra, maybe it's percentages. And instead of getting the chance to slow down and understand it, the class moves on. So now they are sitting in that next chapter, already lost, and nobody sees it because they are quiet about it. And then the test happens, and the marks aren't good. And then, without meaning to, the adults around them start saying that your friend got good marks, you need to study harder. How did you make such a silly mistake? See, I'm not blaming any parent for this because I know these things come from love and worry. But here's what that child hears: something is wrong with me. And that is when math stops being a subject and it starts becoming a story that they carry. That is, I am not a maths person. And once the child writes that story about themselves, even questions they know how to solve feel impossible. Not because they lack ability, because they have no longer trust themselves to even give it a try. Let me show you something. Imagine two students both scored 58% in their last maths test. Student A comes home and say, I need more practice. Home and say, I'm just bad at maths. And 6 months later, which student has improved? Almost always the first one. Not because they were smarter, not because they had better tuition, but because they still believed something could change. And that belief, that quiet confidence, that efforts lead somewhere in the real engine of learning. And it is the first thing that breaks when a child keeps struggling without the right support. So, when the parents see their child failing behind, the natural instinct is to add more. More tuitions, more worksheet, more practice paper, more pressure. And honestly, I did that too in my early years of teaching. And what I noticed was this: when a child is already anxious about maths, more pressure doesn't build skill, it builds dread. What children actually need when they are stuck in more, most of the time, it's the different thing that they need. They need someone to go back to where the confusion started, not to make them feel behind, but to say, let's find exactly where you get lost and we will fix it from here now. They need small wins that remind them that, yes, I can do this. They need a space where asking, I don't understand, doesn't feel embarrassing. Because here's something I have seen that's going to change the children completely. When a child finally understands why something works in maths, not just how to do it, something shifts in them. They stop feeling like maths is a locked room they don't have the keys to. They start feeling like a problem solver. Hence, over the years, I kept meeting the same child with a different name, different city, different grades, but the same story. Bright, curious, creative, but convinced somewhere deep down that the maths had decided it didn't want them. So I built the Maths Mastery program because I refuse to accept that story. This isn't another tuition class where your child sits in a crowd of 30 maybe and hopes something is going to stick. It's a structured small group learning experience for the students in grade 6 to 9 designed around one question: where exactly did this child lose confidence and how do we rebuild it from there? So, what we do, we start by diagnosing, not to label it, to understand where are the gaps, what concepts were quietly skipped, where does the anxiety spike. And then we go back and build the foundation properly, the concepts that should have been clear in early grades but weren't. Then we work on why, not just the procedures, but understanding, because a child who understands when can solve a problem they have never seen before. Then structured practice, not random worksheet, but guided problem solving that builds real skills. And finally, confidence, not as a side effect, as the actual goal, because I don't measure success only by marks. I measure it whether a child walks into that exam and thinks, yeah, I've got this. So if your child is struggling right now, I want you to hear this. Struggling does not mean failing. Confusion does not mean they aren't smart. And one difficult chapter or one difficult year does not write their future. Every child I have seen turns maths around had one thing common. Someone in their life, a teacher, a parent, someone refused to give up on them before they gave up on themselves. So, if you are here watching this, wanting better for your child, that's already puts you in that category. To help parents understand exactly where the child stands right now, I'm offering a free math skill diagnostic for students in grades 6 to 9. It's not a test to judge, it's a map. It shows us where the strengths are, where the gaps are hiding, and what kind of a support would actually help. After the diagnostics, you will receive a personalized roadmap so you are not guessing anymore. All the details are in the description below. And if this video made you think of a parent who needed to hear this today, please do send it to them, because sometimes the most powerful thing we can do for a child is to make sure the right adults find the right information at the right time. Thank you for watching. Do share and do check the description. Thank you so much.